We all know it. The NCAA sucks, and it continues to screw players over every single year simply because they cannot make money off themselves. Imagine if you were someone who started your own YouTube channel and you made a bunch of money, but you also played football for the University of Central Florida. Yep, that was Donald De La Haye. He made a very famous YouTube channel on creative content, and only since, because he was a student athlete under the NCAA, they were forced to shut his operations down and make no money off his YouTube. That is awful. And this is where the NCAA draws a line. There's too many times where the NCAA will interfere with student athletes and tell them they can't do this or that. It's been enough, and it's been enough time, and some states are starting to wake up to see that this has been awful all along. The NCAA does not allow any students to make any profit off themselves or their likeness, meaning they are not allowed to make any revenue off social media or any platforms where they can, make money off. This has actually been changing a little bit. The state of California has just announced that they will start making colleges pay, and the NCAA pay students for whatever revenue they make off themselves. So that's off Instagram, that could be off Twitter, or that could be off Facebook, any social media platform, or ESPN or top news networks. This is a great step to what the NCAA should eventually do, and that is pay their players. These players make a bunch of money for the NCAA every single year through games, especially televised games, and that's right, merchandise sales. This is a huge, huge profit for the NCAA every single year, and they make way more enough money than they should, and they should give most of that back to the people who are actually earning that, like professional athletes. You think LeBron James would want most of his money stripped away just because he belongs to an organization? Not a chance. We are all free individuals, and we should be able to make money off our own selves. We are free. If you're in college, you're most likely 18 years or older, so you can eventually do all of that. We need to get the people to listen. There's too many times where athletes make a great amount of money to support their family or anything else off social media or anything like that, and it gets stripped away immediately from the NCAA. They have been doing this forever, and they have now just started easing the restrictions on it, but we need to make sure they fully take all the restrictions off. Now, obviously, student athletes get paid a bunch throughout tuition because they go to school for free, but not all student athletes. So that leaves some them that don't get a full scholarship but still make money off their likeness, but they can't receive any of that revenue. This has to change, and something must be done very soon in order to do that. So this all sounds like a great idea, but we need to make sure this gets done. What the NCAA needs to do is be able to form some kind of players association like every other main organization there is, like the NFL Players Association and the NBA Association, so they can get players on the same track as what the NCAA has been doing. There has been no talking between any of the NCAA and their players forever, and it's time for that to change because we need voices to be heard. We need to get some kind of plan so where we can track what kind of revenue these players make so they can be profited off that instead of all the money going to the NCAA or the college in itself. If that means we need to make jerseys for players or have them signed to different brands, then so be it. But there's too many times where student athletes will have a huge amount of jersey sales because their number is just on their shirt. For instance, Tim Tebow sold more Florida number 15 shirts than he did any of his NFL jerseys, and he saw zero of that money. But he saw a lot of the money from the NFL. So we need to find some kind of way we can get the NCAA and the players of all the student athletes to get on the same track so we can find somewhere to give the revenue back to the players. Now, obviously, this is a very hard step to do, but like I said, California has already started getting players involved in this so they can make money off their revenue. There's so much money that is involved in this, and that the students can come back to the students and help out their families or anything else. Now, of course, student athletes shouldn't be getting a bunch of money because they are going to school for free and are given a great opportunity to build their brand for maybe the near future. But there's so many opportunities they are missing out, and we need to make this happen with a big NCAA Players Association so they can talk about this and sit down with high-level executives of the NCAA so they can get money into the players' pockets. I know I've been hammering this home, but just imagine if you were at quarterback for the University of Clemson and you had millions of followers everywhere, but you just couldn't make any money off of it. And then maybe you got hurt and you can't go to the NFL. I'd be pretty pissed and I'd be pretty mad, and I would want to change something too. So what we need to do is we need to create a NCAA Players Association so we can get players and we can get the high executives of the NCAA talking so we can get revenue created by the players going into their pockets, not going into the NCAA's pockets, because that is the players' money, not the NCAA's.